welcome to Arts in Action. I'm Whitney Mitchell, your show host for today, and I am thrilled with our theme for Arts in Action because today is the business side of Arts in Action. And I'm proud to say that I have an artist here today, our guest. His name is Charles Eason, and he is the director of the Small Business Development Center at Solano College. And I'm so happy you're on the show. Thank you for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
So I have him on the show, and I want to tell you more about him. So we're going to start out by saying to him, tell us, are you the founder of these amazing programs offered at Solano College when it comes to people and their business?
Yeah. Well, I'm not the founder. I've been with the Small Business Development Center for a little over 10 years at Solano, and I was in Napa Valley College for 3 years. But the program actually started in the mid-'80s, so it's been around for over 25 years now. So not the founder, but been with the program for quite a while.
I love it because this is for people that either have their business or they want to start a business or they're struggling, they don't know where to go with their business, and that's why I have Charles on this show. So tell us, Charles, I want to know more about your background. Can you tell us what inspired you to do this line of work, helping people with their businesses? Tell us about your education.
Yeah, well, I've kind of always been an entrepreneur at heart. When I was in high school and college, I always had my own business, whether it was a lawn mowing business or auto detailing business. And then as far as education, I went to school to get a degree in engineering. And after I graduated, I did go to work for a large company, TRW at the time, and was an aerospace engineer for 5 years. And then I got laid off in the early 90s. After we won the Cold War, we didn't need any more of our systems. So I was laid off, and I figured I'll go back to my entrepreneurial roots. And at that time, I went to a business broker and looked at like a dozen different businesses and ended up buying a gourmet coffee house. And so I went from being a rocket scientist to serving coffee. And did that for about 3 years, and then sold the business. And since I've been through the process of both buying and selling a business, I thought I'd help people do that. And I was a business broker for a while, helping people buy or sell businesses. And that's how I actually, from there, got started with the Small Business Development Center. I ran a business incubator down in Southern California. So that's how I got launched into the program.
Well, this is great because you're not just a director, you're a director of this program, and you have the experience. You've been in a lot of people's shoes. And so, and I really respect that and admire that. So tell us about the businesses that are provided. You say to us that aside from adults, what is the starting age for people to receive the services that you have?
Yeah, well, traditionally we've served adults 18 plus, but about 4 or 5 years ago, we've got a special grant through the Chancellor's Office of the college, and it was to assist youth, and it was ages 14 to 27. It was an entrepreneurship as a career pathway type of grant, so we've been providing services in that area for the last about 4 or 5 years.
I like that you said 14 because me and my twin sister, we started our own business when we were 14. Okay. I had my own pet sitting service. It was called Noah's Ark Pet Sitting Service, and my mom and dad were like the managers, and that got me into business, wanting my own business, wanting that side of life. And so that's great that you say 14 because a lot of kids, they're inspired by something, and a lot of them have that business mindset, and you're able to channel that within the services that you provide at Solano College. So that's great. So tell us also, how do you break down your services to teens and adults? Tell the viewers about your upcoming business workshops that you do and events that you do year-round.
Yeah, well, for teens, we've done a couple of things. We've done after-school programs around entrepreneurship. We do an annual business boot camp during the summer, and we have a fall business plan competition for the youth. For adults, our kind of 2 core services are training and free one-on-one counseling services. So we do about 100 workshops a year. So there's 2 or 3 a week going on.
Whoa, active.
So we see about probably 1,000 people a year for our training, and then 300 or so people a year for the one-on-one counseling services.
Wow, that is incredible. And I want people to know where you're located. Like, tell them about where you're located, because you're here in California.
Well, we're in California.
Let's zoom in. Good.
We're actually part of a national network. So there's about 1,000 of these small business development centers nationwide. And here in California, we've got centers throughout the state. And we're part of the Northern California Small Business Development Center Network. So we have 10 small business development centers from Santa Cruz up to the Oregon border.
Love it, love it.
And now our center, of course, is located, covers all Solano County.
Okay.
But there's also centers in Napa and Contra Costa and San Francisco, Oakland. So pretty much, within an hour's drive of anywhere, you can find a center across the state. So
the resources are everywhere. You can, love it. Napa, here in I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. Because there's a need for this, especially in this economy right now.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
I mean, small businesses are going to lead us out of this, economic downturn. That's been traditionally small businesses create, 2/3 of a new job. So yeah,
2/3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So we're going to really break down all these services that are provided because we want you to know about all the services that you can receive. And I believe a lot of these will speak to you watching right now. So let's start with number 1, how to start your own business. Talk about this element that you provide.
Yeah, so that's a workshop that we offer once a month, and we usually do it the first week of the month. And it goes over the basics of when you're starting a business, what do you need for licenses and permits, selecting a legal structure, taxes, all those things you need to know about when you first start a business. So that's a good starting place if you're a new business to take that type of a class.
Good.
And that's the first week of the month that we offer that, how to start a business class.
Yeah, and when you say taxes, I mean, that's coming up, right?
Yep. That's it.
And when I'll be honest, because I have my own business, and when it comes to taxes, gotta keep up with everything.
Yeah, because a lot of people, there's federal taxes, income taxes, state income taxes, there's self-employment taxes, and so payroll taxes and all that. So
all
you
of
can
it. So
yeah.
you really break that down and help it. Wow, that's great. Number 2, customer service.
Yeah.
Talk about this one.
Well, any successful business is based on having repeat customers. So if you can't get them coming back, you're probably not going to be successful. So that's the whole thing with customer service is providing that high-level service. So this class covers a lot of the basics. We developed out of an academy that we had. So this provides both for the owners and employees things to think about for keeping your customers happy and getting them to come back. Because,
It's that relationship. So, you have that business-to-business relationship, but, that business-to-consumer relationship is very key to the lifespan of your business. So relationship, building that is really important. That's really good that you have customer service. That's a strength. That has to be a strength. And let's go into 3, marketing 101.
Yeah. Well, before you have your customers to keep, you have to find the new customer. So you need to market your business. And, the class covers the real basics of marketing. We cover what we call the 4 Ps of marketing. If you ever take a marketing class, you usually cover the 4 Ps of marketing, where you talk about what's your product strategy, who's your target market, your pricing strategy, and your place or distribution strategy, and your promotion strategy. Once you've defined who that target market is, how you're going to reach them, what type of advertising or publicity you're going to use. So all those things you need to think about for the marketing part of the business.
That's really good, because when people when they think of the word marketing, they might think about one thing. Marketing is a huge umbrella. I go to grad school at Golden Gate University, and my major is marketing communications with concentration in public relations. And I'm learning all about the 4 Ps and all these areas of marketing that people don't think about, from PR too. But you mentioned place as one of the Ps. Place is very important, where you're placed, where your business is placed. Who is targeting that area? Who is your target market?
Right.
And if you know your target market, how are you going to drill them into where you're located? So marketing is very important.
Yep, and a lot of people do think that advertising equals marketing, but it's really just a small part of your overall marketing plan. So
I love that you say advertising, because I think, I'm just going to say this percentage, I think 90% of people, when they think of marketing, they think advertising, that's it. No, there is a lot that comes to it, from PR to word of mouth, the media. And the more that we're going to talk about later, so it's a lot. It's a huge umbrella. And so let's go into the 4th, record keeping 101.
Well, record keeping, it's a little bit drier topic. Marketing is kind of fun, but it's important that you
Yeah.
keep records in your business, both,
Right.
financially, you need to know where you're at, so you need to
Yeah.
have some sort of booking keeping system. Some people use a shoebox method,
Ooh,
but
who uses that?
yeah, I don't know.
Who's watching right now?
Yeah, but you need to have some formal system usually to keep track of it,
Right.
because we talked about taxes before. You need to keep
Yes.
track of how much you're making and all your
Exactly.
expenses, and so you can figure out how much do you owe in taxes and how much you're making. So that's important for people.
Because
to
if you
understand.
lose that, if you're not clear about your numbers, you can be pretty stuck. And that deadline, when it comes, it's like, oh no.
Yeah. And a lot of clients we see, they're good at the technical thing they
Okay.
do, whether it might be something they've been doing for 20 years or hobby, so
Yeah.
they understand that, but the business side and the books, that sometimes is new for them. So it's something they need to understand too, because it's your business, and it comes down to the numbers ultimately.
I like that. So so if you're watching right now and you had your business for, let's say, 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, I think you might still need to come to these services, because you might need to be updated with the next hot thing when it comes to record keeping. I mean, there's a lot of trend. I mean, things change. Other things come into the business of this business. And so, I love the fact that you have that.
And I'd
Yeah.
like to mention too that our focus is
Yeah.
really on existing businesses, so that's where we
Okay.
are focused. We do work with a lot of startups, but
That's
we
great.
have people who've been in business for 20 years sometimes come to see us. So it's something, even if you've been around for a while and you might
Yeah.
need some help.
That is really great. Okay, let's go to the next one. How to use Facebook.
Yeah. So this is kind of a new area, a whole thing with social media marketing.
Yeah.
We started doing classes about a year and a half ago, and how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter and LinkedIn and all those. But those have been pretty popular classes. You talked about word of mouth,
Right.
and that's the social network. It doesn't cost you really anything. It's who do you know? So
It's-
using
right, who you
Facebook, you should have a Facebook page for your business.
It's a powerful tool that is free,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It used to be for college students
Right.
a couple years ago, and then everybody has it. Even kids that are 14, have it. So it's
It's another way to stay in touch with your target market and customers too. And just,
Exactly, building that relationship and keeping that connection. Because you can have a page. You can have a fan page. You can have your personal page. You can have that page that is your business, and you can create events, right? You can create events.
Right, and you can post those on your Facebook page,
See?
and we do
I
that
like
with
that.
we have a Facebook page for the Small Business Development Center. So
Great.
our workshops will post up there.
That's
yeah.
excellent. Excellent. Well, let's go to the next one. Intro to QuickBooks. Talk about QuickBooks here.
Yeah, so that kind of relates to the record keeping 101. So
Okay.
QuickBooks is an accounting system. So it's instead of the shoebox, it's an electronic accounting
Yeah.
system. And so this is a class that goes over the basics of what you need to do to set up QuickBooks. So
Okay.
how can you invoice your customers and keep track of payments, and then how can you pay all your bills, and then once you have it in the system, then you can run reports. You can run a profit and loss report or a balance
look
sheet,
at
and
that.
cash flow statements, all that type of thing.
Cash flow,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have to touch this point. At Golden Gate University, where I go to grad school, I had to take accounting class, a foundation class. We had to do this by hand.
Right.
That's not fun. But it's great that you have this, because it's in need. I know a lot of people that probably need QuickBooks and need to
And
be updated.
a lot of people, they work with maybe a bookkeeper or accountant, and they might get their financial statements from them and put them in a drawer or something, but they need to understand what they're seeing and be able to interpret that too. So it's important, I think.
I like that. And the more you understand, the more power you have over your business, right?
Right. So that-
So that's really good. Financing 101. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, I'd say probably the number one reason people come to see us
Yes.
through our doors is they need financing or funding to either start their
Really?
business or
Okay.
expand their business. So this class covers the basics of what does it take to qualify for financing, the different types of financing. So
Okay.
there's debt financing, which means loans,
All right.
and there's equity financing, which means where you find investors or partners.
Have you ever had an experience with somebody, that was in debt and needs your help? And what did you?
Yeah, a lot of them do come to us. They already have run up a lot of their credit cards or whatever, and they might need some additional financing. So there's lots of different loan programs. There's SBA guaranteed loans. There's state guaranteed loans. Some of the cities have loan funds. Here in Vallejo, there's a Grow Vallejo Fund.
Okay.
And then there's microloans that serve, there's 5 different
Microloans.
microloan programs
Okay.
that serve Solano County here. So depending on how much you need, what you're going to use it for, we can help match up with the, what you need and help you apply for the appropriate program. We don't do the lending, we don't have the money, but we can match you up with the right program and help you apply
Well,
for it.
that sounds great. You're a godsend from that. I mean, you're really putting the puzzles together that are not together when people come into to need your help. I think that's really great. Let's talk about the next one, responding to invitations to bid.
Yeah, so that's referring to doing business with the government, what we call government procurement. So, you can do business with the federal government, state or local government, and governments buy pretty much anything that people buy, other businesses. So it's another way to have another target market.
Okay.
And we have, here in Solano, of course, we've got Travis Air Force Base. And,
Yes, we do. Yes.
And they spend quite a bit of money here, and we have the school districts and cities and county. They all buy from small businesses. In fact, a lot of them have goals that they have to meet for small business. And we do classes throughout the year. We have 2 advisors that can help with that.
Oh, great. Okay.
And then in May and June, we usually do a big Doing Business with Solano County event so we can learn about how do you do business with the county. So that's something we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years.
Wonderful services. Oh, that's just wonderful. Love it. Okay, so let's talk about the next one here, Business Plan 101.
Business plan, that's actually where we spend most of our time working with clients, is helping them put together business plans. And a business plan is kind of your roadmap for how you get from here to there.